Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quest Unplayed. Quest Unplayed is where three of us, plus usually a guest, talk about everything about games or anything about games, and we usually talk about the guest's game here and there. I am the co-host of Quest Unplayed, George, and this quest is joined by Anthony,
Hey everyone.
Zach,
Hi.
and we have another guest, Joanna.
Hi.
Hello.
All right, y'all. Because last time we didn't have Anthony because Anthony had some problem with, I don't know, traffic or something.
Because he lives in New York.
Yeah,
That was the problem. Yeah.
that doesn't help. Before we begin, this podcast is sponsored by Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub and a companion app. Sync your game accounts, make your own game collection, connect with other gamers, and basically do anything and everything about gaming on Minimap. Come hang out with us on Minimap. And here is the sponsor video.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Anytime now. All of them in one place?
Play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I love that it's open right now.
Yeah.
It's the best, but I got 3 on controls. You should.
Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah. Try it. You might like it. That's how I always say.
Minimap, your ultimate game.
Love.
All right. What did you think about the video, Joanna?
Favorite part.
Hey, any comments?
I love look, I'm sorry. Anything with cats, I just am there and am
Okay.
focused.
Okay, that's
You
good.
got some cats?
I don't right now, unfortunately, but I befriend cats. Well, you may know that I'm from Greece and we're famous for our
Wait,
cats.
well, you're from Greece?
Wow.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know
Okay.
that.
Are you
Oh,
in
yeah.
Greece right now?
I am not in Greece right now because
Oh.
that would be really unfortunate time-wise because it would be 4 a.m.
You can
And
do
I
it.
mean, I like you
Oh.
guys, but not that much. So,
Not that much.
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this, guys.
By the way, if you can see our logo of Minimap, that's how the cat kind of turned out. I don't know if you can see it right here. That's our logo. And then that is made into the cat.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, we just made your logo or your cat in
Yeah.
our embroidered art style.
I love it. I love it.
So that's what the
Yeah, you have to you have to share me that PNG
He tells
file.
everybody that. Or,
He did.
I was with him in real life, and he was walking around going, "Hey, that's how our cat looks." And he's like, "Okay, buddy," and he just walked away.
Yeah, I would be talking to a stranger at Chipotle. Be like,
Chipotle, yeah, or in and out.
yeah, I love those. I mean, because we don't have that in Korea. But
I asked him,
mean,
I was like, "What do you want to do?" And those are the 2 things he said: Chipotle and in and out. I was like,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
How did the in and out thing go? Because I think it's a slow burn. I think when people haven't had it and then they have it, they're like, I don't get it. And then they have it and then they're addicted. And then they're like, I need in and out all the time.
yeah, that's
I'm-
what I have.
I'm good. I'm good.
And also, they have a very reasonable price. So
That's nice. Yeah.
yeah, super nice. Again, thank you for joining the podcast. We're very excited to talk about your game and other stuff that we usually do. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your studio, and your game, Embroideryvania?
Yes.
I got that right.
Do you all want to say? So one of our favorite games is making people say the name of the game, which is, as you correctly said, Embroideryvania, and we actually have a bunch of our friends record voice recordings in the menu, so that's like a little nugget for y'all. So yeah, as you mentioned, I'm Joanna. I'm originally from Greece, which we will get into later, but I wasn't really a gamer until I was a full-on adult, like over 30. And there are not that many games that you can learn as an adult. So I met Fox, the game director, at like a meetup, like 6-7 years ago, and he obviously should be making art and games. And we came up with this studio project called No Sequels Cooperative because we don't do sequels.
Oh.
And we make solely couch co-op games, in case you can't tell from the footage currently being played. So our first game is called Embroideryvania, and it's this split screen couch co-op Metroidvania with no combat, and it has this cozy exploration vibe to it.
You lost me in
love
no
it.
combat. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we want to be someone's first game. So
No,
you know,
I'm just picking on you.
our thing is byong, byong. That's like the sound effect for everything that we do because it's bring your own non-gamer. So byong.
I like that one of
Player
those snails had a turbo engine snail shell on them.
Yeah, obviously
like
we have to do a bit of an homage to some of our favorite things. But yeah, as you can see, there's multiple different biomes. They're all hand drawn. We've gone back and forth a lot into how all this can look. But yeah, there's collectibles. Obviously, you collect shell packs, which are your little like backpacks, and you get various power-ups that help you with traversal. So yeah, and it's just a very easy to pick up, hard to master kind of approach.
It's pretty dope.
That's really dope.
Did I see a rubber ducky in there?
Yeah.
He always wants the rubber ducky.
Yeah, he's obsessed with them. Even has
so
a. Didn't you wear like a sweatshirt or a sweater or
I have
has
a Hawaiian button-up T-shirt that's all rubber duckies.
Oh, that was a button up.
Okay, that's super cool. But yes, there is obviously a rubber ducky because rubber ducky debugging.
Yeah, who doesn't love rubber duckies? Like,
And they're the one. They make bath time so much fun.
Yeah. They also make programming so much fun.
Yeah, I believe it.
Awesome. They also helped out, they also helped out a lot when my daughter was younger, and I had to kind of force her to get to the bathroom. She's like always doesn't want to go, but then there's a rubber ducky, and then she's like, oh, I want to play in water. I'm like, okay, good. Anyways,
that's awesome.
They're very popular.
They
also have like full-on stores that just sell rubber duckies.
Zach is all on it, all over it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the studio and the game a little bit after we do our famous gamer type quiz. Are you ready to take this gamer type quiz, Joanna?
You got this.
I am ready.
All right.
You can't fail.
Yeah, there's no fail or pass or I don't know, success.
It's literally just who are you?
Yeah,
you know?
there are 14 questions, and we have a cat again, Navi. So the first question. It is finally the weekend after a long, tiring week. Do you ask a friend to play video game together, or do you need to spend quality time alone?
I mean, obviously, I ask a friend to play a game together.
Ah, okay. What's your favorite game to play with a friend?
Really, Embroideryvania, but
yeah.
But I have actually not played that many games with friends because there are not that many games that you can play couch co-op so much. So there are various ones, but I avoid talking about other people's games as much as I can. So, but I've played everything I think that's out there that's couch co-op, except It Takes Two and Split Fiction yet.
Yeah, those are the two I mean, one of
Most
two of the
famous.
best ones. Yep.
Yeah.
They're also
Does it take
they're also made by the same studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
They're
But I played their first game, which was this like escape game. But yeah.
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
next-
the kind of a genre that's not you don't see a lot of anymore. It's called couch co-op.
I feel it's having a bit of a renaissance. Not because I wanted to have a renaissance, considering I only make cooperative games, but I saw that a lot at the Summer Games Fest showcase. That there's more than a few that were couch co-op, so that was impressive to see.
Is you think that's because people kind of want to reconnect again and they're tired of playing away from each other?
Go ahead.
I mean, I think so because, like, these days it feels like not couch co-op, but like a lot of co-op games have been, emerging as these successful, especially like in the indie scene. Like, if you see games like Peak recently has got like a huge success, and Schedule One was obviously one of those too.
Yeah.
Feels like it's
I'm not really sure exactly why it's having a renaissance. I was very surprised to see so many couch co-op games in the Summer Games Fest showcase. But I personally, I think people feel generally disconnected, and I think we're at this point in time, business-wise, but also the generation of gamers that we have this like nostalgia, like reminder of like the arcade, and also like Super Nintendo weekends playing with your friend,
LAN parties.
LAN parties, yeah, and LAN parties. So really playing couch co-op also at a time where seemingly things are very intense and polarizing. If you get off the internet and you can just play with people on the same couch, you can't really hate on them. You can't really like, you have a person.
Well, you can, and they're closer, so you can reach them.
I mean, you can. My hope is that at least you can argue about the game and not, everything else.
I think I feel that. I know they were doing the quiz, but I think I feel that. But I've been more wanting to do like I'm a Dungeons and Dragons player, so I want to do Dungeons and Dragons at my house or board games. You know what I mean? It's weird, like, or I invite people over to play Jackbox. Just weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've never played Jackbox before in my life until I actually was at Zach's house. So I mean Jackbox isn't like popular or like known in Korea, so I guess
It's a fun
it's super fun. It's super fun. Yes, I understand why people.
But it's
wanna play
nice
that.
to have people come over and hang, like, and just do stuff instead of always being like on video games.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Next question. The new game that just released isn't my type, but a friend is urging me to play with. It's not my cup of tea, so I refuse at first, but it would be fun if we played together. Or do you listen to your friend's words and play together right away?
I would play together right away. I mean, the worst that can happen is you can hate the game and stop playing it, but like maybe you like it.
I spent like $80 on it. This is
Yeah. The worst. That's the worst case. You can spend $80 and hate your friend. And
I've done that before. Has anybody done that where they bought a game to play with their friends and they played it like maybe once or twice, like never played it again? You're like, well, that was fun, I guess.
In Korea, it used to be, we have a lot of MMORPG games. They're like all popular. So when I was in the army, me and my like people at the army, like other people would like gather like whenever we have vacations to play this game called Ion. It's a very famous NC game, and then we play a couple times, but then after some of them, because you have to do like your mandatory duty here in Korea, but after like 2 years they're gone. So after a while, like everyone just like left and people just stopped playing. So I guess
everybody
that's
just
one
disappeared?
of the this disappeared. They're like, oh, I'm going back to my life, bye. Like
Bye.
So and then after a while, like play like maybe like twice or three times all together. There are like I think 5 or 6 of us, but then after that we were like all left. So
and it's just George by himself, like, friend,
Friend?
I'm friend.
play with me.
Yeah, that's so funny. So that happened to me, but
I would have
next,
never left you, George.
Okay, we'll play together. We'll play something together. Maybe Embroideryvania. Embroideryvania.
Well, it's gonna be hard to get my couch to Korea, but I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Next time you're on the same couch, you
Okay.
can play any of the No Sequels
Couch
games.
in Korea.
1000%.
Yeah, just send my couch, and then I'll be like, I'll be there in a week. Just put that in your
Wouldn't
house.
it be
somewhere.
cheaper to buy a couch over there?
Probably.
Absolutely not, sir. We're going hardcore if we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you talking about, Anthony? You also have to bring your couch too if you want to play together.
We're sending 2 couches to his house. His wife's gonna not know what happened.
It's bring your own non-gamer, not your own couch.
You know, we could try to do like the Lego thing where they had the double-decker couch. Just
Okay.
saying.
Did
I
see?
could
We
be-
have great ideas coming in.
Try.
Yeah.
I've been known for being.
I had a double-decker couch. I mean, I had not a double-decker couch. I had a
I
bunk
sound so
bed
dangerous.
couch.
A bunk bed couch. Okay, that makes more sense. Was it like
Uh,
one of those bunk beds that has like a little couch underneath?
I mean, but it was like a full-on couch, but you could open it into like a full bed, and then the top was also like a bed. But people would sit, like when you have a bunch of people, like people can sit on the bottom part and on the top part. So it's like you can also build a fort. There's a lot. Highly recommend. And yes, I was an adult when I had this, so it's
Oh.
You're that person. Like, hey, come on in. Go ahead and have a seat on top or bottom. You're like, okay.
let's build a fort.
I would have been for it. I'm like, yeah, get the cushions. We
Yeah.
got sheets. Where we at? Let's get some lighting in
Exactly.
here.
Yeah.
Why
Funny.
not? Right?
Okay, next
Sorry.
question. You're thinking about joining a community with strict terms to get game information. From self-introduction to attendance check, that is too much for me, or it has good information, so getting ranked up after 3 days is not a problem.
I don't know. I don't know if I understand this question.
So like, for like, and sometimes like for Reddit or Discord, you have to do
Yes.
certain kind of things before you can actually start posting or
I
read
see.
other
Yeah,
people's
yeah, yeah.
articles. Like, do you think that's like too much, or do you think you can just do it if it has good information?
Questionable, because I am like I'm like, oh, let me read every rule and everything that they're asking here, but also I am pretty hesitant to be like, why do I need to give these people my social security number?
Yeah.
So I would go with if it has good information and really that's what I'm after, I would go with that. Yes,
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
But I would say it depends.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it usually depends. You know, like how some Facebook groups you like have to answer some questions that they ask, or you have to get approved by the admin before you get
I'm like,
entered.
okay, if they're trying to just make sure that I'm not some creepy rando that is trying to like lurk here for some other reason, I
Right.
understand. But then when they're like, you have to do the thing and take a screenshot and then upload it to show me the like, why am I doing all this? Just give me where the answer is.
Yeah. That's why we have some called ChatGPT now.
Yeah.
Or Perplexity. Next question. Before buying a game, you carefully read over other people's reviews, watch the trailer, check the price, or if the game looks interesting, you trust your instinct and make the purchase.
I trust my instinct.
All right. What's the most recent game you just bought?
Oh man, I'm on a like gaming ban. Well, various reasons. One is I started focusing a lot on the studio, so I was like, I can't even look at other games right now because I really have to focus on what we're doing. But I also got trigger thumb. True story, and I couldn't, and I play with a controller, and I couldn't play anything for like a year, and then I had to get surgery, and then I had to recover. So honestly, it's been over a year and a half since I last played a game. And
Oh, wow.
I know
Trigger
it's
thumb?
I know it sounds so not. So it basically what happens is your tendon gets like stuck. This happens. It can happen on any of your fingers, and like it gets stuck, and then you can't use it, and it does like this like popping thing.
Oh, God.
It's very painful and not pleasant at all. Do not recommend. So yes.
I can hear that. I mean, I can feel the pain already just by
No,
listening to
and
it.
I couldn't. I couldn't match buttons or like press a button repeatedly. Like if you're trying to even just the basic, and I changed some inputs like the last few games I played, but it was still really hard to have to adjust. But it made me think a lot about accessibility and controllers and all that. So
like I think some of the professional esports athletes, they actually do get one of those injuries in their finger or wrist. Usually that's what happens when they keep playing and practicing. So I think that makes sense. Next question. If someone is watching you play a game from behind, it's the perfect opportunity to show your amazing gameplay, or you're actually good at it, but due to pressure, you are missing skill shots.
Exactly. The
Second
second. I'm like, please go away. I need to be up against the wall. Nobody look at me.
Okay. Next question. You are playing a newly released game for the first time. Rather than having regrets later on about missing something, you go over the tutorials, or the game seems to be similar to the one you've played before, so you skip the tutorial.
I always do the tutorial. I am sighing heavily because this is a point of conversation within the development team about how much tutorial and where and what. And I'm like, guys, I always need the tutorial. And other people are like, we don't need tutorials. People can figure it out. So that's why I was sighing. But yes, I always do the tutorial.
Okay. Sorry. Next question. You are playing a mystery-solving game. Based on your years of experience in mystery-solving games, that guy is the culprit, or that person looks suspicious, but you need to start collecting evidence first.
The first one.
All right.
I almost know immediately who done it.
Uh-oh. All right, so I can't play a clue with you.
No.
Next question. In order to equip the rune that increases defense by 0.01%, you have to return to the lobby. That is not a big difference. My friends are waiting, so I just go. Or do you tell them to wait? You go back to the lobby to equip the rune.
I just go.
Okay.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right. That's a good mindset. That's next question. During gameplay, your companion's character has been bitten by a zombie. You might be able to find the cure, so you decide to accompany them, or everyone in your group can get infected, so you choose to kill them, even though it is tragic.
I mean, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably accompany them and then, get to the bitter end and then kill them if I have to. Versus, I would try to find the cure first. Yeah.
Next question. Even if you don't express it, you feel like you keep losing because of your friend. Are they not feeling well? I lift up my friend's spirits. Or do you send them a link to the characters, tips and tricks, and suggest that gameplay?
No. I mean, I would probably do the first one.
Okay.
I would be expressing it, let's be honest. But yes, I would do the first one.
Okay. You first have to ask them if they're not feeling well, or otherwise that's pure mean.
Yeah.
Next question. The character has bad performance, but the appearance is totally your type. Considering the balance of your party, you cannot put them in your party, or you have to put your favorite character in the party no matter the cost.
No, the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
But what if they look so cool?
Yeah. What? No, I don't. I don't care very much about how they. I mean, I like it when I have the ability to really make a character look cool, or if someone does look super cool. But I'm if you're not actually is this a style over substance situation? Because I need the substance. I don't need the style.
But you look so stylish right now.
Well, thank you. But yes, I have style and substance, but not all gaming characters have that.
I love that. I love it.
You're a frontline character. We gotta leave you in.
All right, we have to put you in the group, in the party.
I'm one of those guys who just gets subbed in every once in a while. I'm just for story plot.
Just for the plot. I doubt that, but yes.
Next question. Your current desktop is messy with tons of icons, but it does not affect your gameplay, or you hate chaotic things. Your desktop is neatly clean.
Oh my god. I can't believe I have to admit this on camera. My desktop is a mess. But I'm always the one telling my team, you need to follow naming conventions. This is how we do the thing. You need to capitalize, blah, blah, blah. But then my desktop is hell on earth. So, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it doesn't, as long as it doesn't, affect your, I don't know, productivity or
Yeah.
your gameplay. That's fine. Next question. Before getting into the game, you search the internet just in case you end up missing achievements, or you have never played a game for the achievements.
I have never played it for have I tried to get the achievements if I really like the game? Yes, but it's never for the achievements. Like I really think.
How many achievements do you plan on having for your game?
That is a really good question that I don't have the answer to. And I think we do have various things, and I know Fox and the team, the development team, are like really have a bunch of things in their little chest of wonders. But I'm not sure. I will get back to you on that.
Okay.
I know whatever they're doing is going to be super cool, though. So
All
for
right.
achievement, yeah.
Awesome. Last question. You, who happens to play lots of games, play a game you feel.
Sorry.
What was it?
Gets trigger thumb. No.
Right. You play a game you feel like playing
Get
at
in
the
here.
moment.
Oh, I can't go on.
I can't go on.
You can do it, man. No, I'm just kidding.
You have like cast on your finger. Do you play a game you feel like playing at the moment from your collection, or do you have a gaming schedule on when to beat a certain game?
No schedules.
Okay. All right. Let's see what type of gamer you are.
I'm obsessed with this cat. Oh.
You are a chatty bard. Am I talking too much? Let's see. I wonder how the developers came up with the name of their monster. Curious about a lot of things not related to the game itself. Hey, let's have a competition in who kills the most monsters. I gather friends to open game competitions. I talk way too much during voice chat. I don't I don't care how much this skin or that costume is. I am buying it. I don't always get mad, but when I do, you have gone too far, my friend.
That's true.
While I'm having a blast playing, every now and then I just stop and think, wait, what am I even doing?
Yeah.
I'm very popular amongst people, but I also get hurt. You can have this sword. I don't need it anyways.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, let me drop things. Go pick it up.
So, do you like Chatty Bard's characteristics, personalities?
I think that's really funny, and I think unfortunately my friends and my team would agree that I am the chatty bard.
Okay.
So.
I mean, yeah. All right. And it says you are good with gentle cleric and bad with the perfect ranger.
That makes sense.
Because perfect rangers are they're very like not emotional. They're very just target oriented. Like they're just focusing on like winning the game.
Yeah,
really
and they're also like
else.
really. Are they like they like stealth and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not. We're not. We don't get along.
And you like party games, like you said.
I mean,
I like party, man. Yeah.
I like to party. I like couch co-op games. I do like party games, of course,
Yeah.
too. Who doesn't?
Awesome.
It's like the more the merrier. But yeah.
Yep.
When you do couch co-op games, do you guys have like a potluck or like a snack thing or have a couple of drinks, some samosas?
For couch co-op games or just general party games?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm actually trying. So we're exhibiting at PAX West later this summer, and I was like, I really just why are we sad? What happened?
Oh, because there used to be a PAX South, and there's no longer a PAX South.
Oh yeah.
So George and Anthony are like, I'm doing all this cool stuff, and I'm like, I'm in Texas.
Wait, I haven't done any cool stuff.
But
You
can
do
go-
nothing but cool stuff, Mr. Seven.
Yeah, exactly. You're in New York. What are you talking
We're
about?
like, what do you mean you don't have a secretary? I have
This
9.
guy been doing cool stuff up here.
I mean, but then
Well,
not as
yeah,
cool as Anthony.
Let's do some cool things.
I mean, is coolness a location-based factor, or is it? What is the measure of coolness?
I got you on that.
Chatty Bard.
No, I got your answer on that though. Coolness or whatever is a measure of fun and excitement from a event.
I see. Yeah.
So like when you just go to something, it could be boring, right? You go to PAX South, you're like walking around like, oh, I didn't want to buy anything, or you go to PAX South and wow out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Burn a couple things down and have some fun with your friends.
Also, because they have the never-ending pit of sugary drinks that you can just have. So that was, I went to PAX East because I wanted to check it out before we decided to exhibit. But yeah, I was trying to I want to do like snacks and that kind of vibe, but I'm not able to because, you have to pay the caterer to do it. And I'm like, your cookies are not as good as mine, so.
Oh.
I just whenever I think about it, I always just think about back in the day when you would just have I know this isn't healthy, but when someone would bring over you'd have popcorn bowls of popcorn and Doritos, and you'd have all kinds of really bad soda and stuff. As an adult, I would have adult beverages, of course, too, in case anybody wanted to get really dumb, so we could talk about it later. But yeah, no, I just I think that was one thing that because we would do some LAN parties would last like a day or two.
Yeah,
people wouldn't go home, and then you would be sitting next to your buddy, and you'd be like, "Oh, hey, guy, whoa, maybe a shower. How about we hit the showers? Because you haven't moved in a couple of days." He's like, "Oh, we're to the bathroom." You're like,
let's stretch.
Yeah, let's get up and move a little
touch
bit.
Grass. You gotta touch grass.
Yes, touch grass. Yeah.
Let's do some fun. Yeah, let's do some yoga. Let's loosen up because you are looking a little connected to that couch.
Wait, didn't you go to PAX East this year, Anthony?
No.
Of course he did.
Wait, when is PAX East? Was it?
It was
May.
You didn't go to PAX East, Anthony.
Well,
You know how many plushies were there? You missed out, my guy.
I mean, I thought you lived right next to PAX East.
Where's
yes,
PAX East?
but I had something to do for that week.
Okay. Cooler than PAX East. I see.
So you have to make the sacrifice. You get to choose which one.
That's true.
How was PAX East, Joanna? You said you went.
It was so I hadn't gone. So I'm new to this gaming thing.
Yeah.
Well, also obviously as a gamer, but really as a studio owner and producer. So I do, however, have a lot of events experience. So I actually came from, I mentioned earlier, I worked in live music, but I also worked in large scale event production. So I've produced conventions. So I did want to exhibit, we wanted to exhibit this year at PAX, but I just didn't feel comfortable not knowing what it looks like.
Right.
And just going in blind. So we went to visit and it was amazing. I mean, I just, I think it's really important that any sort of event can make you get out of your identity or whatever it is because I went there as I am the CEO of No Sequels Cooperative, and I was literally going down the escalator and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. My mind. That's a really well-produced event that brought out the actual gamer in me who was let me run around and touch everything and play with everything. So it was really great, and I was convinced within the first 5 minutes that I absolutely need to do this. We need to do this for the studio. So we're doing it at PAX West for sure, and I think we're gonna be doing PAX East next year as well.
Oh, that's awesome. So maybe Anthony gets to visit your booth next year at PAX East.
Yeah. And Zach, come out to one of the coasts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll see if they lift up the banning.
The banning.
Yeah.
What is the banning?
Just kidding. maybe they'll let me back in after the event. I don't know. No, but I think the one thing I miss about those is because kind of talking about the co-op thing, right? There's so much. It's weird when you go as a gamer, you a lot of people say they're gamers or introverts, but they still talk on Discord. They still usually have friends they talk to while they're playing their games, right? So they're not necessarily introverts. They just don't like to spend money or leave their house. But one of the things is every time I've ever went to PAX South, I just like there's just it's so cool to be around so many people that love the same stuff you do, and there's just like an energy to it that you can't really match.
You can replicate, and it's just you're among peers, and you feel, I don't know, that just feels really, really great. And I would say, I think most of the people there are definitely introverts and like not, they're not going to be the person who's going to come up to you and be like, so what are you into?
They're not.
You kind of have to do that. And I know you can't tell, but I identify as an introvert. I just like, I notice it and I have to like actively overcome it. So that's something that, I do easier maybe than other people who are gamers. But but I don't talk on like socials and Discord. Like I would just much rather talk in person if I go to like an event or something. Yeah. Okay. But I also don't leave my house, so there's that.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, like I'm pretty frugal and poor, so I don't like to leave my house at all because that could usually cost money. But this unless there's like somewhere like it just felt like I feel like sometimes I've been starting to go back to the movies again, right? Because I love movies, but it's one of those things. It's like you could still like I said, invite people over to Dungeons and Dragons, doing stuff like co-op games. You know what I mean? Those are a better way to kind of actually be around people. But once you go to when you go to the PAX South, PAX East, plus the amount of connections you can make there by just walking around and talking to booths, you know what I mean? Like that's invaluable.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Okay, we're gonna go with that one. Invaluable.
It is.
Yes.
So, sometimes I say stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, is that?
You know what's not a word? Embroideryvania.
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 Yeah. Embroideryvania. Embroideryvania.
It's that word now, but
so I feel like anytime you make a word and then just connect it and you say it enough, it becomes a word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We can start using that word from this point on. We can just say Embroideryvania. Embroidery. All right. So, I mean, we will jump into Bulletin Board Waypoint, but this is going to be a quick one. I think we just want to talk about the Microsoft's layoff and layoff here and there. There's so many things, I think like a lot of projects were or shut down, and studios were closed and canceled, all that. So just sad. There's just so many people affected by this. Just like if you go to LinkedIn, it's all about this everywhere. But so it's very sad. How big is your studio, Joanna?
So we are, I want to say 4 or 5, four full-time people, and then we work with contractors for the rest.
Okay.
Only because, not for what is it, financial labor law escape reasons, but more because we are self-funded and our resources are low, and also just the work that we are doing is kind of that's the way the flow goes, because we have the Fox, who also uses we have a shared Discord account, and then I also have my personal, so he uses sometimes the shared one to talk to people, but Fox Walker is the game director, and he kind of leads the games department, and then it's me doing all of the back end and CEO and stuff, and then we have a director of marketing and then a director of audio, so because we do all the original soundtracks, so we work with a lot of contracting either developers or musicians or that kind of thing. So at any given time we're from 5 to 12 people.
Okay. So depending on the
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big indie team, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on again, what we're working on. We also have a couple of interns, which is great. Again, not for free labor, but because I really love mentoring people and being able to get the support that I
Right.
got. I was new in any industry, so that is also really great. But yeah, I'm looking at the Microsoft thing. I feel like gaming news are always like, this is some really cool stuff going on. Here's some layoffs of thousands of people. It's
Yeah,
like,
I don't understand. Yeah,
the emotional roller coaster is hard,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I will say that from, obviously I look at these things and, I don't know, it's not our goal, obviously, to be Microsoft, right? We are a smaller studio. We also want to be able to help, we self-publish our games. We want to help potentially other developers as well down the line. We are fairly new to this, but I don't enjoy seeing what's happening, but it's more like for me as a business owner, and this is my advice to anyone who's working on the entrepreneurship journey, is how can I not do that? How can I get to the point with my business decisions and my operating decisions to not be in that situation? So
Yeah. That's I think that's because a lot of indie studios, they know. I mean, we've talked to a lot of solo developers or people who has studios and stuff, but they never were thinking about how to maximize profit. They're always thinking about how they can be a part of this gaming or indie game scene or indie game industry and be supportive of others and make something great that other gamers like and enjoy. So
yeah, I think there's some pitfalls in the narrative, specifically around indie solo devs, where it's all you gotta do is make the game and get it out, and it's no, you have to do a lot of work and a lot of the stuff that you might not even know that you need to do. But I'm talking legal, finance, marketing, branding. You can't just make a game and send it to the wind and hope that it's gonna go viral. That's I find that to be a really big myth.
yeah, that's like winning a lottery almost.
Yeah.
You might have higher chance winning a lottery.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think I honestly, and this is kind of when I think about, and as much as I hear from how awesome most of you indie devs are, I don't think people who necessarily are making a lot of money on these games, these big AAA titles, are always the winner either, because you can make a ton of money and stuff, but are you really happy? I feel like a lot of indie teams, even if they're not killing it, are still happy because the things they're doing, they're putting out stuff they really love, and they're, you know what I mean? So to me, it's the experience is worth more than how much I get paid.
Yeah, and I think also I'm noticing, or I'm not sure, I always question, do these C-level people or do any of the people who are really making decisions or are the stakeholders in these companies, do they play games?
I don't know if they do or not, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And
Well,
I know that indie devs all play games.
Most of them, yeah.
Microsoft is one thing. They make PC. Xbox is just a subsidy of Microsoft, so they have their own gaming, department.
Right.
So the ones who are on the board are probably all business people.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the sad, because if you think about it, when Xbox first came out, on that note, Xbox was very gamer driven. It was just hardcore, we love games. Now it's we love microtransactions. What happened? I don't even know. I don't know what's going on right now, So it's just, the more I think about it, and I'm not saying that I'm not trying to be a root of all evil kind of guys. I'm just saying that I think a lot of people probably trade experiences for money, and I feel you're really going to lose out because you can't take it with you. You know what I mean? But as far as Microsoft laying people off,
I mean, I feel like tech is destabilized right now too, because I used to live in San Francisco, and I worked. I didn't work in tech, but I worked tech adjacent. I worked in event production, like servicing tech, basically doing all of the parties and stuff. And
The fun stuff.
it's what
The fun
The fun stuff.
Yeah.
the fun stuff. Yeah, it
Like
was
you
a
guys
lot of-
work, I'll plan the parties. You just
Yeah,
go.
it was literally. I mean, it was wild actually. It was fun but wild.
Now I'm
And
jealous.
yeah, I'm seeing. It's been kind of like that. You know, in recent years, quite a bit. Like you see it. What Meta is doing overall. You know, they have like the whole XR department, right? That they're just hiring people, spending millions of dollars, laying 6,000 people off here, or like 2,000 people off, right? And you're just like, this is thousands of people. So yeah, I think that we go through these waves in tech specifically where this happens in like a large scale. And I feel like it's been destabilized like that. It's just a continuation of that destabilization trend that has been going on for at least the past like 8 months.
True
I
that.
don't know. In my head, I just see driving down the freeway and some guy sitting out there with a cardboard sign that says "Will code for food."
Yeah.
Like
What?
I will code Python for food. You're like, oh man, poor guy. Let's go back
Yeah.
there, see how he's doing. Let's go back. Poor fellow.
Do you know one thing? You never
I know
hear
lots of things.
Nintendo ever does layoff.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I think it's because they kill everybody before they even get to
No,
lay 'em
no,
off.
no. I think I actually read this article or someone said it on LinkedIn post and saying Nintendo actually like the CEO or C-level people actually cut down their salary so that they can keep other like employees to actually keep working for the company.
What?
Instead of
They actually
That
this
makes me
year,
happy.
yeah.
They cut their salary this year compared
Yeah.
to last year.
Yeah. So it seems to me also from being in,
Oh yeah,
just-
it's right here.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Their ethos as a company, and that's we have an expression in Greek, the fish stinks from the head, and that's where like the change comes, but also that's where
I've heard that before. Yeah.
the rotting comes. So it looks to me that Nintendo, well, first of all, they have a very different business model than like Microsoft does, right?
Right.
It's again, like you mentioned, Anthony, like it's a department of Microsoft. It's not like
Yeah.
the thing, their main product. But it seems to me like the values and the ethos of the company itself, Nintendo in general, operates obviously in a very different capacity and structure and flow than any
That's super-
subsidiary of Microsoft.
Yeah, that's super awesome. So I was just reading it. Yeah, I took a 50% pay cut,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that avoided any layoffs or anything. That makes me
Yeah,
Like
50%
the-
is
to
about
know
like
more.
100 million.
That makes me really like Nintendo a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because Nintendo in the end, they are a gaming company, 100%.
Exactly.
Unlike Microsoft and of course PlayStation. PlayStation, even though PlayStation is Sony is all about movies.
Yeah.
They're a movie company and
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. Which,
And
you
here-
would think about it now, you're saying that. I got 2 points on that. You would think if you're making games and games make way more money than music and movies, you would focus more on the games, right? And two, do you think that maybe that when it's it's not a gaming based company, that's actually where the water gets a little muddy when they just don't understand? Like, how you said earlier about, do you think the shareholders are the ones playing the games and stuff? That might be the
Yeah.
whole issue.
It is. I just see it also from just a business operational perspective. When you are Sony and you have decades of this product, like revenue stream, etc. I think people try to get into gaming because they're like, this is the future and this is what's going to happen and this is what's going to be like the $1 trillion industry and blah, blah, blah. But maybe they don't know. I mean, I know they're giant companies and I expect more of them, but I'm also like, maybe you're right. Like the waters get muddy and they don't know what to focus on.
Yeah. It's I guess the way to really think about it is like, yeah, 100%. Like, I think we're all hitting it on the head, or the nail on the head is, it's like if you're going to be a house flipper, but you don't like houses.
Right.
So the
Or
house
you
looks
don't
like complete garbage. You're like, yeah,
Or you
I
don't
just
like,
use.
you know, you don't like interior decorating, or you don't like, you know, construction, like just the stuff, really, the nuts and bolts of it. But yeah,
It's just in for the money. And also too, I love that you use the analogy that it rots from the head, because that's why I don't think a lot of people understand why people smell fish's heads before they cut into them. I don't know if anybody's ever heard that before. Maybe a weirdo thing I know. Or I'm gonna go now.
It's true. No, I was like, hey, listen, Greeks and the American South, we're on it.
I'm not from the South. I'm from Wyoming, but we did a lot of fishing, and a lot of times you got to get rid of that head real quick unless you're going to make a stew out of it. That's what we'd always say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's true. Y'all have smelts? Do you smell in Wyoming? Do you have smelts? No.
Smelts, yes.
Smelts, yeah, we have those too. Little fried fish. So only my Wisconsin friends.
I thought you said at first smells. I was like, yeah, I can smell.
You're like,
I was bored with.
No.
This works. Unfortunately, sometimes it works, and sometimes I wish it didn't. I'm like, oh, thanks. No, but yes, ma'am, we do.
Yeah, so I just hope, you know, every one of those 9,000 people that were laid off, they find something, or people just keep supporting them and try to get them back on track. Because, you know, I know like some people might say like, oh, you worked in Microsoft, you'll find a job, do your job, like, you know, like wherever, but like it's not the case for everyone, you know, like, and then some people just, you know, feel depressed or feel very sad and just, you know, go into those dark hole and just never get back on their feet.
Not even that, but you got to think is everybody that's got released with them, now they're competing with those people for
exactly, that too.
A job.
Well, and I think it's also, it's very disempowering and shocking, because you're like, it's not even what I did. It's just a number that being cut.
Yep.
And that's just, I mean, it is the reality of this kind of structure, right? This kind of operating business structure. But what it does to the individual level is just not, I mean, it messes you up.
Yeah, it can, like, definitely. You're like, oh, I work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Yeah, that's. That's why we were talking about the news earlier. What we were pulling out for news, and Anthony's like, "There's been layoffs," and I'm like, "Bro, when is there not a layoff?" Feels like it's every week somebody's laying somebody off, except for Nintendo.
The post about one of the studios that Microsoft laid off is okay. Don't make a game that wins so many awards at the game events.
Oh, right.
Was that what were they talking about? Which one was that?
Oh,
was that for the rock and roll one?
No, it's something else.
Didn't they fire that studio too? What was the one
that
where?
Studio too. But usually the games.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Which one? Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush is one. Yeah.
They're like got awards, and they're like, all right, by the way, bye. You're like, we just won awards, guy. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Bye, I guess.
Yeah, but I think I think yeah.
Winning award doesn't save you from losing.
Yeah.
The company.
And also the CEO or the head of my Xbox said, you know, this is like we have this success, whatever, but we're gonna lay off 9,000 people. Like, they were like, what?
I mean, and this is when I wish they were a bit more transparent with.
Why?
I mean, what am I wishing for transparency? But it's more, you know, when you're thinking, I'm like, okay, so that says to me that success, like awards and recognition, doesn't give you the financial returns that you are desiring. Like, what KPIs are you not meeting for this to be the decision that makes you kill that part of the studio or that leg of the company? I don't know. It's really interesting, because again, anything, you want to be an indie dev, you need to know business things, and you need to look at these big companies to be like, what can I learn? So
yeah.
And I think that's inspiring to see like indie teams. I can't remember who I was looking at, but it's one of my son played this game that was really voxel, but I say like ultra violence or something like that. Like it was like ultra killing or something like that. But it's like the company is one of the most successful indie companies, and there's only like 5 of them, and they literally said, we just make games we want to play and then we sell them. And I thought that was just a cool thought, because they're not like, we want to make a bunch of money. We just want to play these games and make them and get them out. And I was like, because even if you fail, say you fail, like you put a game out, then you wanted to make this game. And then once you put it out, you're like, oh yeah, our art was dope. I love playing this game, the music, everything. And then it fails, you still know you put out. It's like drawing a really beautiful picture, even though nobody bought it. You get to look at it and be like, man, I killed it. I feel like, So it kind of gives you a little bit of.
This is a big conversation that we have internally here because we make games basically for the games that I needed 6 years ago. Like that's really what we make. And we're like, yeah, we just make games that we think are fun and we don't play. And like, who knows what's going to happen? That's kind of where we're at now. Like, who knows what's going to happen? But we are already working on we have 7 projects that we're working on. Like we have a lot. We're very ambitious, tiny but mighty, strong.
That's why you got no sequels right there. Just we don't got time for sequels.
Ain't got time for this. Yeah, and our games are short. Like they're meant to be played in an afternoon or so you don't end up in a situation where you're 25 hours in a LAN party and whatever. It's like a 3-hour movie night, date night, afternoon hang experience. But it's I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't think we're all working because we like what we're doing. I'm not promising anyone, guys, we're gonna be millionaires. I'm I don't know. I was like, thanks for helping me. Let's figure this out. We got this. Let's keep going as long as we can. Is the idea?
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Have you seen? It's also really funny because I'm watching this show right now. I don't know if you've seen it. *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Mm-mm.
Have you seen this show? Okay.
Uh-uh.
I think you might need to watch the show. But
what's it on?
AMC. I never know what anything is on. I'm watching it on Amazon.
There's so many streaming services.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's so many. Yeah, I know. That's fair.
Oh gosh.
It's about early computing in the 80s. So it's about building the first personal computer, laptop, and then it also has
AMC.
It has a whole gaming thing to it as well. So I'm only on season 2. It's truly, I feel so it's not exactly like that because it's a bit intense in the show, but this feels so much like it's my life right now where I'm I don't know where this is going. I guess
except for the intensity.
Yeah.
It's like life, but down a couple of notches. Not so, not so crazy. But that's pretty cool. I'm actually gonna watch it. I don't know if I have AMC, so
I don't know if I have it. There's so many.
I have so many different subscriptions. Which one do I have? And then
what is included where? So I cancel. I'm okay, I'm gonna watch the season of stuff that I want to watch for a couple of months,
and then cancel it.
And then I'm gonna cancel, and I'm gonna get a different one, and then I'm gonna watch the things that I want to watch there. That's a technique. But it's the one thing I've never been able to cancel. I know this is not in line with what we're talking about. Is freaking Apple TV. So some weirdo was like, you gotta watch Ted Lasso. You gotta watch Ted Lasso, and I kept saying, weirdo.
Who said that? Who said that? I have no idea who said that.
But I watched Ted Lasso, right? I got it for The Gorge because I wanted to watch The Gorge or whatever it's called because I like those 2 actors. And I was like, I'll pay for a month and I'll get rid of it. Then I started watching Ted Lasso. Then I started watching this other show. And then now I'm watching Murder Bot. And I was like, look, I hate you, Apple TV, because I can't get rid of you. I was like, why is there so many good shows? I hate it.
So what you're saying is they have good productions and we should all get
100%. I hate Apple products. I won't lie. I don't like Apple products because I feel like they overcharge, but their TV shows? Yeah.
Have you watched that studio one? I want to watch that. It's called The Studio
I haven't. Are you talking? Is it the one with Seth
Rogen?
Yeah, I watched a little bit at the beginning of it, but I haven't gone back to it yet.
Yeah, and the other one that I thought was really good that's also on Apple TV is Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. It's called Best Friends or something.
I'll have to check that out.
Okay, it's really funny. It's
okay.
For our age. Anyway, okay.
I think we gotta come back to the.
But this is the podcast now.
No, we gotta come back to the game, guys.
I mean, there is a gaming show.
There's a gaming show, right? Like Anthony says. Yeah,
George asked me to watch called Quest.
Actually, they have a new season for that one.
No, they actually canceled it. If you're talking about the
Really?
one they actually. What was the one you told me to watch it, George?
Oh
Mythic
It was about the
Quest.
video game company. It was
Yeah,
like
Mythic
some
Quest.
quest. Was it the
Yeah,
quest?
Mythic.
The Mythic
Quest.
Quest. The Mythic Quest. Yes, yes.
So it got
I
me
think-
all excited, and then they left
Okay.
the last season on a cliffhanger. And then they decided they're not going to make the 6th season, so I had to go back in and redo the last.
You know,
It's the last show, so they have 2 versions of the last show.
I think that show was
I got
funded
too
by
into it.
Ubisoft.
Oh, I did not know that. I gotta
Okay.
check that out. But,
It's all about game development. It's not. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I don't know. It's pretty funny, but I just got into the
mean-
characters, and then you know how it is when you get into the characters, and then they take it away from you. They're like, "There's no other seasons." You're like, "But why? I want to know."
I am invested. I am
Yeah.
invested in this quest.
Let me
but,
watch it, damn it.
Yeah.
But no, let's go
but,
back. Sorry.
but yeah, I didn't know that was funded by Ubisoft,
I'm
but
sorry.
that'd be fun.
It'd be actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Death Stranding 2. Some of the cutscenes were made by Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Nintendo made the cutscenes in Death Stranding 2.
So they're working together. I mean, Kojima is also
So-
in Japan, so
So
right. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
you know what kind of you think about it too, like all these really successful, great gaming companies in Japan, but you know what the work life is there. I wonder what those. I would love to be in. I think it would be a cool documentary just to film and see how insane inside there it is.
yeah.
Like people have not been
All right.
home in like days. And they
All
got
right,
weird.
we're doing it, okay? Zach and Anthony, you guys are flying all the way to Japan. We're just gonna go knock on the doors, be like, "Hey, we're just small production, whatever podcast
Hey,
team."
you fund me?
Yo.
I'll quit my job right now. I'll fly over there.
Actually, now that wait, I forgot. Now I
Who
gotta
wouldn't
think about
watch
this.
that?
Hold on.
Who wouldn't watch a real life documentary of what it's like to work in like a Japanese
Give me one
game?
second.
I would absolutely watch that. We all want to know how they do it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
'cause,
probably
you know,
have those
Ah,
small.
so
I got
I just
frozen. My
found this
mouse
out
was open.
today.
Uh-huh.
The director who made Uncharted, right,
Uh-huh.
left the studio, moving to Japan to start an indie studio.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
But
Japanese game.
Here's my thing, right? Because I romanticize about going to another country like Japan or Korea and working for
Yeah.
a game company all the time. Romanticize about it. I have a pillow. I have a body pillow for it. It's not a real thing. I'm just kidding. But I always
actually
think too,
does.
like if I go over there, because I'm very big into like I'm very tired of the whole grind everyday thing. But then you're like, oh, by the way, you come here, it's even more of a grind. You're like, I don't know. Yeah, that's cool. and all.
I have a lot to say, not about Japan or Korea, but I recently moved back to the U.S. after living in Europe for 6 years.
Bad idea.
And half of
All
our
right, keep
team
going.
is actually, some of the people that we work with are in Greece, like I'm from Greece. But I will say, no, I mean, I much more prefer the US, and that's like a bigger conversation. But I think there is this narrative of, like, you can romanticize kind of anywhere. And people do have that reaction, Zach, when I tell them, like, I just moved back. And they're like, oh, why? That's not a good idea. I'm like, there are problems everywhere. You just have to decide, what are you done with? You're like, I'm done with these things and I don't want these, but I will put up with these things. And that's great. And I think people should definitely explore that for themselves. But yeah, and one of the things that I had an issue with is specifically in Northern Europe and in Southern Europe, because I have the same problem, is how people work. And in Northern Europe, there's an over-reliance on the work ethic just isn't there. And I have this, like, I need to get things done. Like, we're running a studio. We need to get started. We need to be moving things. I want to be doing this. And there isn't this sense of self-actualization. Because there's a lot of like, oh, I'm in a job and the government will do things for me. And if they don't, then I'll wait until they do. And there's this.
So you wanted to come somewhere where it was like, hey, let's get this done instead of like, we'll release this game in like 20 years because siesta.
Exactly.
So if you actually come to Korea, you will probably cut that workspan in half because we just work.
We don't stop working. George doesn't go
Even
home.
on weekends.
But yeah, on the
He
weekends.
zooms his family once a month.
Yeah.
He gets a 15-minute zoom, and that's it.
They let him out of the cage. But no, it's
Okay.
He's like, "Are you guys okay? I love you." And they're like, "When you coming home, Papa?"
No, I think we're ready. We should jump to the companion. We've been talking about other stuff so much. But anyways, we're coming back to Embroideryvania.
though.
Yeah, we were having fun.
Keep going.
Dude, if there wasn't like any time constraint or whatever, we'll probably have this like 5-hour like non-stop podcast
If I had a
relays.
podcast, it'd be called like the 24/7.
Oh,
do a
okay.
special
Like-
episode.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'll join the Discord and we can keep talking there. I'm happy.
Okay, that sounds perfect.
I feel like that would be a fun podcast to just see how long you could talk to somebody before they're like, "Hey, do we stop now?" And you're like, "Do you want to? We can just keep talking." They're
Yeah,
like,
you have to
like
order
3
food too,
hours,
by the
like-
way.
Hey,
No, just keep going. Oh, it's
Yeah.
chatty
live,
bard.
bro.
I'm the chatty bard. It's not
Right.
My last D&D game, I played a bard, even though I didn't get bard for the stupid gamer thing.
Yeah, so let's watch the trailer with sound.
Okay.
I like sound.
Yeah, because
Can I
they
tell
have
you-
a.
I will tell you after the trailer.
That's actually how I walk.
That's how you walk. Isn't it great that you can just stick on the walls and you don't have to unlock that?
Yep.
I have to tell you guys. I made this, and I should not be making trailers, but
Oh.
but at least it gives you the idea. So,
It's not a
Yeah.
bad trailer.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad trailer at all.
yeah. Thank you.
Just
Yeah, because
It shows off what you need, what you're talking about with it.
and it's the core concept that it's a couch co-op.
yeah, we see
Yeah.
that. 1000% see that.
You know what would be cool is if you ever did like a Steam live stream or anything like that. Well, let's watch the rest of this first. I'm sorry. Remind me afterwards.
Well, it's already finished.
Son of a. I'm sorry. Let's play it
No,
again.
no, you're fine.
George, play it again.
No, now you can see it.
You know what would be kind of cool is if, and I always had this idea because I saw a YouTube stream where they did it once where two guys played a couch co-op. So their camera was like on these two guys sitting on a couch playing the couch co-op, and the other was them gaming. Was the other scene in there? That would be kind of cool to have two people playing on the couch while you have the game in the background, and then just have them, chatting it up, enjoying the game, and that'd be kind of cool.
So
Yeah.
I actually thought about that the other day. I was like, maybe like from here on, maybe we should actually invite the developers, and actually while they actually play their own game, we can kind of talk with them while they actually play it.
Or we play their game and they talk to us while we play it too.
That too. Either way.
That would be awesome. I mean, I don't know if you guys have played the demo. I think we sent it over, but and it's it's a 3-minute demo, and people are like, I was in there for 40 minutes.
Because there's no map, it specifically says there's no map, and then I just had to figure out like what to do, and then they gave you like this little.
I'm horrible about that.
Yeah.
When someone tells me there's no map, I just sit there for like 5 minutes thinking
I,
what to do.
I like it sometimes when there's no map, but I also get angry. I don't know why. I'm just like, what do I do?
That's-
Why? And then everybody's
Well-
like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm so stupid. And I walk away.
I struggle with maps in real life and in games, and I struggle with directions. I'm like, I don't know where anything is. I can't get back to it. I need to always be checking a map. And there was a lot of conversation internally about this map situation. And
I would love to be on that. Be like, they're like, yes, what are they saying?
we have a lot of fun conversations. We're like, do you think this thing should be there or there? Do you like the animation of the snail? The snail should be upside down. Snails move upside down. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, the map thing, it actually works really well in the game. And the demo shows you a little bit about, it teases some of the worlds, but the worlds are so different from each other, and the landscape, the soundscape is so unique to each world.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of piecing it together. But because you don't really have, it's like such a chill, cozy exploration game. And it's very safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is someone's first game, hopefully, to like someone who's never picked up a controller and played a game to be able to be there and not have to worry about combat or traversal or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And not have to worry about, how do I get to the map? How do I open the thing? Am I trying to go there? You can just kind of wing it, and it actually works. Because I will tell you that I was very hesitant about the whole no map thing.
Why is my thing stuck like that?
But when
There
I
we go.
played, when I played the game, it was. I was like, oh, I'm back in this place. I'm back in that. Like it works.
Yeah,
So,
it did. Yeah, that happened to me too. Like it somehow worked, but like I was like, is this the right? Like, do I jump here or do I like what I do here? Like, I mean, I didn't. I mean, to be honest, I didn't play with anyone else. I just like played by myself. I try to like control the two snails at the same time, but then I was like, I realized that I don't have to do that. Just like
You don't
play
have
with
to, yeah.
one side of the screen. I was like, okay, this is how we do it. And then I kind of figured out like, you could jump like 3 times, or I forget, like 2 times or 3 times. I was like, how in the world is a snail gonna go all the way up there? And they're like, oh, this is how you do it. So I kind of figured out on the way, while I'm playing in it. And then I was like, oh, that's where that image, the thing that you have to actually collect, oh, that's where it is. And then I kind of start climbing and doing the upside down climbing thing and all that. So
yeah,
Whee!
we were like, we don't really need it to be like, I don't know. This is our approach generally. Like sometimes you just need to like pick up a game that you've never played before and just go
Just
there,
do it.
yeah.
and then put it down and not think about it again. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, how much time do you have? Like, does everything need to be 150-hour experience, or can you just spend a day, do a few hours hang and go into this world and be with your friend who maybe has never held a controller, ideally, in our case, it helps our story. And then you just hang out and that's what you do. And there's no like, the stakes are not super high. You don't have to, it's not like, and you can do the collectathon and find like the cute Easter eggs and the nuggets. And like, of course you can, there's always a teaching element in our games. So as you can see, you collect these tapestries that teach you how to identify plants IRL, but it's not like, this is how you do the thing.
Yeah.
Do it! You're like, oh God. Oh.
Yeah. It's more, it's up to you how you want it to be. And the no map thing is like, oh, and the traversal, what you were talking about, George, like, can I jump here? Can I fall here? Is this like, I even, you're describing like, oh, is this gonna kill me?
Yeah, exactly. I just had to figure it out myself.
Is gravity my enemy?
It's up for you to find out. So.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, because like it feels like if the game tries to tell you everything, because like some, especially like for mobile games, sometimes they're like, click this or else you can't play the game. Like I don't want to click that. Can I just like explore the game before actually? But then they're like, oh, you have to buy this because this is the free one that you get for the first time. I'm like, I don't want that. Can I just like save for later or something? But like
little finger.
Yeah,
like,
you have
Can
to
I-
click.
Can I just play?
Yeah, exactly.
the game?
Sometimes, yep.
That I want to just play?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's been games that I've been excited for because I play. Sometimes I play mobile games, and I'll get into them. And because of that, I've been like, nope.
Yeah.
I zoom out, hold down the thing, uninstall. Just like,
Yes.
that was nice. It was nice, but I don't want to do it.
No, I completely get it. And this is, our games also don't have UI. Like you'll see, there's not really
Right.
stuff on the screen. Yeah. No UI, very, very simple. And yeah, there's a mini tutorial. I will insist on the tutorial, as you saw from the game quiz, where I'm like, it needs to be there for people like me who need to know what to press. But it's not gonna ever be super complicated. And
Right.
Yeah.
our games are all couch co-op. Our next game is the opposite vibe of this game. I will say that much.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So you guys plan on just doing couch co-ops? Is
Yeah.
what you said at the beginning, huh?
No sequels. And people really comment on the no sequels when I'm out and about in the wild at events. They're like, "Oh, so we know if you make billions of dollars on your one game, you're not going to make a sequel." And
Right.
I'm like, "No, we're not." And it's a reminder because, there are sequels out there that shouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I feel like the only time there are some sequels that are I guess it goes back to if you ever planned on doing like a story driven, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes. So we have some projects in the works that some have more story than others. Obviously Embroideryvania does not really have a story.
Yeah, right.
It's just, you're just Waldera and Coop. Get it? Co-op, Coop. And you're just exploring and you're just exploring this world. It's again, ideally someone's first game. But there are some games that we have coming up that do have more of a story, but how much you want to uncover of the story is kind of up to you.
Up to you.
Right.
We do also, we recently launched a Patreon that we're working on, and one of the things that we have there is we're working on art books for each one of the games, so we can kind of tell more of the development story and how we ended up making the decisions that we made and what we thought about. One of the conversations that we've had is this is not photorealistic embroidery, and there's a reason for that. We had this, this is the intention, right? This embroidery style, it's not the photorealistic one. So there's a lot of we can go deeper with all the stories about how we ended up doing the things that we were doing, but
That would have been wild for you to make the whole game actually embroidery though. How long that would take?
Yeah, it would take. Well, it would take really long because it's also all hand drawn.
Yeah.
You done with that character yet? I'm almost there, guys.
Almost. But you mean actual embroidery? Yeah, no.
No.
I just see a bunch of animators sitting there with the little thing and
the
just
loop. Yeah.
I'm trying.
And they all get the what is that called? The finger,
I mean, it's totally possible. It's like the hand-drawn stuff, right? You just have to draw the character in several different what you want them to be in, and then animate it and code it to do that. It's just the embroidery thing could take a long damn time.
But you can do it. We are there. We're considering. There's a lot of places we can go depending on how this does. I think we're planning on releasing on in early access. So if we're getting we want to get feedback from people kind of in real time. And if we feel like we want to do some cool expansion thing that would be weird and different, we might. But yeah.
I think it's been done before, but I think one that would be kind of cool and different I know this isn't with the embroidery thing, but I think claymation would be an easier, fun one to do because you just would have to pose them, take pictures, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's more of a creative process thing, artistic process thing versus, so Fox, who is the game director and art director, he hand draws everything.
Yeah.
I think that's more his vibe. He's been doing this forever.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go. Oh, if he decides to do something that's tangible, I'm not sure if claymation would be the thing, but I'm sure it would be something that we here are not thinking about.
I kind of noticed that too when I went to your guys' page, the other game that was on there before this one, I believe you tell that was hand drawn as well. So I'm guessing same guy.
Yeah, he does all of the things, and we do have we have a little vignette teasing each one of our upcoming projects and when we're planning on revealing them or releasing them. But you can see because he's done the logo and all the different art styles of the games that we are doing, because they're all completely different art styles, and also like genre blending. So like this split screen no combat Metroidvania, but then that's embroidered. People are like, what are you talking about? So that's one. But that we have a game in the future that's like a racing cooking game. So resource.
Yeah, you had me at racing and cooking.
Yeah, those are some good combinations. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have just a straight up shoot 'em up is our next one, but we have some we have some pretty cool
ambitious stuff.
Opinion. Yeah, ambitious, definitely. So
that's good though.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
we'll see. And again, we're just making games that we think are cool. So hopefully
that you want to play.
Think that we want to play. So hopefully other people will think they're cool too and want to play them.
I think if I had an indie company, my logo would be, "We don't care if you buy it. We were going to play it anyways." So
that can be your tagline.
Yeah, I don't care if you buy it. I'm enjoying it. It's whatever. Like, how much money you making? It's not important. Not important.
Yeah, at least you're funded by some other, I don't know, publisher.
I'm pretty sure we go out of business pretty quick.
Probably.
Unless somebody liked the game, they're like, "This game is super dope." I'm like, "Thank God!" Sweat coming off my brow. Like,
yeah, I get the feeling too. Yeah, the feedback that we're getting is like, "Oh, they're like, I haven't seen anything like this." I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's always good in the gaming space, though. If people sound excited, I don't know if you could tell by the writing on the text or not, but
yes, there's exclamation points.
Okay,
that's good. That's
a good one.
If they said, "I've never seen anything like that,"
Yeah, if it's a dot, that's not a.
I've never seen anything like this, and I never.
If they add emojis, is even much better.
Yeah, emoji means they took extra steps to express their emotions. So
I've never seen anything like that. Head exploding, fire,
heart eyes, star eyes emojis. Yeah.
Heart.
We get a lot of snail emojis, which
I love snail emojis.
I think it means that it's working.
I can't wait for the day when we go back to just hieroglyphs. It was like just pictures everywhere. It's like, oh,
that's how I talk. I talk about emojis as hieroglyphs. I'm like, I'm using hieroglyphs in communication. So
I know it's not a thing very much anymore, but I remember when people would just literally send messages to me and I'm like, what is this? Why is there a stop sign, fire? What's happening right now? Like, they're like, yeah, you don't know, bro? Yeah, I was saying everything's on fire, don't come in today. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Could have just said that.
Yes. So was there like a reason why you chose snails as the characters, or is it something that
yeah, that's a really good question. So we wanted something unusual.
Okay, worked, yeah.
That is not normally cute, maybe?
Snails are cute.
They are,
I think non-real I think cartoon snails are cute. Real life snails they're a little weird. They're like
they're kind of weird looking, and you can make but can you make it cute? So we did have some runner-ups. I will share with you that one of the runner-ups was a pangolin, but we were like, could it? Because we were trying to figure out like, what is the main character and what is it collecting and why is it in this world? And it had to help us also like figure out the scale of the worlds and that kind of thing. So the snails worked because snails are small. So a plant world would be a big, a Jurassic Park experience for them. And so that really helped us create the world and create the sizing of the world, etc. And then collecting, the concept of collecting a shell pack, like your shell. I mean, it doesn't give you crazy qualities. It's more like an aesthetic choice, and you can be whoever. Like, what do you want to wear? So yeah, here we have the examples of the car racing helmet and or if you will, a motorcycle helmet, although it's a car racing helmet, and the butterfly wing, the moth wings. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to discover, and there might be some homage references in there too. Yeah,
I thought I saw one of them look like there was a tattoo gun on the back of one of them.
That is true.
Okay, I was making sure. I was like, is that a tattoo gun there, or what is that?
It is a tattoo gun.
I don't know if I trust that snail.
Some
I'm
of
like,
them
is it
are
gonna get my lines
references.
straight?
You don't trust that snail. Depends if you wear. You can choose what you want to wear at any given time. So
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
But
no.
there may or may not be references to future or other projects. Some of them.
Oh,
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Yes, we love this. Gamers love
You
Easter
are
eggs.
dropping Easter eggs everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this whole time
I'm
like may or may not
practically
these
the
things
Easter
happen.
bunny.
So, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say on next episode, like what's gonna
Yeah.
happen?
So you said you'll never have the company will never have any sequels, but do you think there is a possibility to have like DLCs or
Yeah.
any of the?
Yeah, that is a possibility to expand on something that is already existing. But we also feel so, one of the things is, and this is a hard place to be in when you're trying to run a business, but we use open source software. Like we develop on Godot is our engine. Like we want
It's not a bad engine.
people. No, it's a great engine. We want people to be able to take our thing and do something with it. So if someone else is like, I'm making a spiritual sequel to Embroideryvania because I loved it so much, we're gonna be like, go for it. Like
That's dope.
that.
I like that.
Yeah, we're really. I mean, it's about the cooperative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. That's
Cre-
yeah, I
Creating a
think
world for people.
yeah, and then you can actually let other people kind of take that world and I don't know, be creative in their own way.
Exactly.
Maybe collaboration and stuff. So I think that's a good way to also promote your game as well because other people might find, oh, what is this? And then they'll track all the way back to your game and
Yeah.
hopefully buy it and play it.
Yeah.
So I guess my question too is, does anybody embroider in your team, or what came up? Why with embroidery?
So, also a really good question, and we do expand on that. See, this is why we have this art book because we need to expand on these things. But there was when Fox was working on this because we were working on this together a little bit, and he was on this kick of like. Well, he was on this like botany kick. So he was like looking at plants and plant identification and just really studying like botanical. I mean, that's not what is like the anatomy of plants, like books, right? Those like old timey ones in the museums that have those, the old
Horticulture.
Yeah, I guess it is horticulture. But really, the sketches and everything. So he was really working on that. And then we also really care about preservation. So just in preservation, I mean that in a really wide term, but also in specific terms. So one, of course, like climate preservation, but like two, preservation of art forms, art style, knowledge, heritage, etc. So there's a ton of like traditional embroidery in Greece and in the Balkans and generally Eastern Europe. So he kind of dove into the process of embroidery because we were thinking also, we do really unique, I don't know, different art styles for the games, all of them. We were teasing them a little bit on the website, but this first one we were like, okay, what do we want to do? So combining, through conversations and through, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Oh, you're Greek. Look, there's embroidery. Let's like look into this a little bit more. Is kind of how we ended up with embroidery.
The token Greek person. Oh, you're Greek. You know what this is. You're like, I'm not that Greek.
Well, we have, yeah, because I think, when people think about like Greek studio or like Greek art, they're like the ancient stuff, the white marble stuff, right? That
the
stuff.
statues with only no arms.
The mythology.
How they gonna grab things? They got no arms.
Yeah. No, but it's all like ancient stuff, and I'm like, guys, there's been like 2,000 years of cultural
Probably
evolution.
more than that.
I think it's too. It probably comes down to movies. You know what I mean? Most of the time when you see any place over, like in Europe, it's always like fancy museums and cobblestone. So, I mean, I know growing up, I would meet people and they're like, do you guys have cars in Wyoming? I was like, bro, it's like 1980, 1990s guy. Like, yeah, we've had cars for a while. Thanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's totally understandable.
Funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so some of it, again, our next game, which is very different, as I mentioned, It does reference, a little bit of like the stuff, but it has other like the art style references because it's street art style. It has this like it's like an homage to the street art of like modern Athens, Oakland, California, and NDSM in Amsterdam. So.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah, there's like we go deep, which is why we're like we need to like expand on this. But yeah,
That's I mean,
Yeah.
and you're making stuff you love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it matters especially as an indie studio, because that's the freedom that you have. You don't have to listen to anybody else. You can just start making whatever you like and whatever you want to play.
exactly.
Or an
That is
indie
true.
podcast. You can't see me because I'm frozen. Wink, wink.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you are frozen.
It's been doing its
yeah. I
weird.
hate. I guess sometimes like the network isn't doing
I
great.
blame society. It's okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I think it's kind of time to wrap up the episode. Do you have anything you want
Another
to
hour.
add to the people who wants to play Embroideryvania, or people who are
Well,
interested?
The demo is out for PC, so it's out on Steam and on itch. Our website is updated. It's no-sequels.com or No Sequels Co-op. We'll take you to the same place. We also have a Patreon. We also have a Discord for our patrons. So any questions, we're also going to start streaming, like you mentioned, doing some Steam streams and playing the game a little bit because it is super fun, in my opinion. So
I think it's
Yeah.
super cool. You got to do the couch thing though. I'm telling you,
I will.
that's a winner.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you are coming to PAX West, come see us. We have a couch.
Wait, when is? Yeah,
I'm
go
waiting for Minimap to send me there.
Yeah. They'll send you. PAX West is Labor Day weekend, so it's
They don't love
August
me no more. August
I-
29th to the 1st.
29th.
We
to
do.
the
We
1st,
love
yeah.
you guys.
And
don't
and
even
yeah,
have a t-shirt.
Byung.
Yeah, we're
bring
still waiting
your
for the
own
t-shirt.
non-gamer.
Yeah.
Bring your own non-gamer to the game.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah.
whole point. And
I would
send
love
us
that.
Send us videos of your non-gamer playing our game.
Oh, that would be awesome
I don't
too.
know any non-gamers because when people go, I don't play video games, they go, that sucks, and I walk away.
Be like, you suck, Ben.
But then
be like,
they
wait.
actually play video games.
I know, right?
It's
be like,
actually the
wait.
opposite. I say to people, they're like, what's your YouTube channel about? And I say, I play indie games, stuff like that. And they're like, you game? And I was like, and other things. Like it's a dirty word. like, and I work out and stuff, jerk. Yeah. Then I walk off and feel sad.
Well, I get it because people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I own a indie game studio. And they're like, what?
but what do you do for money? You're like, that's it right there, guy.
Oh gosh.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, like
You always try to yell at me, Mom. I'm trying my best. No, but yeah, no, definitely that would be. And West, where's West at? Is that in San
Seattle.
Francisco? Seattle? Oh, I love Seattle.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just not see my family this year and go there. Who knows? We'll
Yeah.
see.
But yeah, really
They'll
do
be
send
fine.
us videos of your non-gamers playing the game. Like this is we've done some recording. Like we keep getting videos of like friends and friends of the team, like a kid who knows how to play games and a parent who doesn't know how to play games, and they're playing together. So it's this is the reason we do this.
yeah, that'd be fun. You should do like a challenge or relay or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of is when they used to have like a lot of really old people playing like Grand Theft Auto and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just getting people on that don't game at all and be like, all right, here, play this game and just record.
Yeah, but the thing about those is that they're like, I don't what's happening. It's that, and I feel like the videos that I'm getting is like, okay, and it's just such it's so much more accessible. So and that's the idea.
I guess the one thing I'd ask about that too is does any of them try to jump with the character? Because that's always was my favorite. When somebody hasn't played before and they're doing this, they're like, you're like, it's not going to help, but I guess whatever, get into it. It's cool.
They have it. They do. I mean, I still kind of do that.
It's okay. It's okay. You're into it. That's all right. I felt bad as a kid because I remember waking up to my mom when she bought me a brand new Nintendo, right? And I woke up one morning and my mom was sitting on the floor playing it, and she was like hopping with Mario. And I said, "Mom, what are you doing?" And she goes, "Nothing. I'm not." And she like got upset, and I was like, I probably just ruined my mom for being a future gamer the rest of her life.
You
'Cause I
did.
was like,
You did.
You
What are
can
you
get her
doing?
back into it gently.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her about that.
But yeah. So if you haven't wishlisted the game or played the demo, go play and wishlist the game. Like I always say, wishlist the game first and then play the demo because wishlist when you click the wishlist button isn't gonna hurt you. So, but anyways, go visit the page. I'll have all the links on the description so that you guys can visit the HIO Patreon and all that good stuff. And yeah, again, thank you so much for coming. We really enjoyed this podcast, and I wish we had like 5 hours recorded.
5 hours.
Yeah, like at least 5 hours. We need to bring
George's
our
weak
beer.
sauce. He gets hungry after a while. I could do this forever. It's whatever.
One day when we have more than one game out, 3 full games out, we can just hang out on a couch and play games and talk about stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Only it's. I would request that most people wear some kind of really comfy pajamas. You know,
Yes.
Yes.
And, I mean,
Slumber
like
party,
appropriate
Slumberland party.
ones.
Yeah.
Pajamas.
I'm wearing pajamas all the time. They're the best.
Too
Shut
hot.
up.
Yeah.
You got light pajamas, guy. What kind of pajamas you got?
I'm not wearing pajamas.
Well, okay.
Okay, this conversation
stand up.
is going to be taken outside of this podcast. Thank you everyone so much for listening.
It's so hungry.
If you haven't already, I don't know, follow us, subscribe us, and do a lot of things. Share it.
Get Embroideryvania on
Yes,
demo. Play it,
please.
wishlist it. Tell your mom about it, evidently.
And your grandma.
Tell your mom, your grandma.
Wait for the
You're
USPS guy to show up and grab him, pull him in, and he's like,
Yeah.
"What am I doing? Just hand him the controller."
Be like,
Yeah.
you play games? No, come here.
Yeah. But thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you guys next week.
Maybe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Hey.
George is such a grump.
I'm not. I'm the
He's like, "I
nicest
gotta
person."
eat. What time is it?" I'm like, "Oh Jesus, stop everything." I just pick on him because he's my brother. So I know we don't look alike, but.